what's the transition been like for you since the last album and now to Brightest Blue?
Well, it's been the last album, I was still really a baby, still. Even on the third album, I was, I think, 25, 26. Oh, no, actually, maybe a bit older. And I definitely, in the last 5 years or so, I became a woman. And I, you know, 20s was turbulent and, sorry, it's just started pouring like with torrential rain out of nowhere. I definitely had to sort of take a moment and transition from my 20s to my 30s and like recalibrate and like, you know, reevaluate everything. And yeah, I mean, it just went so quick. And so I had all these things, like a backlog of things I wanted to sing about, and just like realizing that I was different, that I was singing differently, I was looking different, I'd matured, but I'd also not matured at all. Like all these things, like I think 20s is such a crazy time for growth. And, you know, I feel like you either spend your 20s like really with it, really together, you know, just did university, you know, or you just studied for something, and then you spend your 20s knowing exactly what you want. And you get to your 30s and like, shit, I don't know who I am at all. Or like me, I spent my 20s in absolute chaos. And then got to my 30s and realized who I wanted to be. And like, I looked after myself a bit better. I was living in New York. I was being healthy. I was training really hard, like working out really hard and eating the right things. And especially in the last couple of years, I really like got to a place of like equilibrium where I can like keep that straight part of my life and keep it with the mad side, which goes with like songwriting and performing. And so I've got there. So that's why I'm drinking a celery and ginger juice.
Because you are a grown woman now.
I'm a grown woman. I make my own decisions. I have a bit of both. I have my Diet Coke and I have my lemon and celery and ginger, which is just pretty awful. But I saw a picture of myself the other day and I had really bad wrinkles. So I'm like, right, need to get this down.
You do not have wrinkles, number one. Okay.
No, I actually do. But I think it's like my skin's not very good with the sun. Like as soon as I get exposed to sun, my face like, you know, so I've got to watch that.
Extra sunscreen and you keep it moving, girl. You'll be good.
Exactly.
Was it emotional for you, I guess, watching? Because when you're in the public eye and when you do something so heart-opening like music, you're giving yourself 24/7. So was it an emotional process as well, just to, you know, watch yourself grow and evolve? But then also, were you nervous to put this together too, to show the change to your fans?
You know what? So I think it's like all about who you work with. And if you're working with people that you're really comfortable with and that you can say anything. And one of my best friends is the most, I don't know if you've heard this expression, but in the UK, like when someone's like a lad or like laddish, it means they're kind of like I don't know what the American equivalent is, but like a jock or something. I don't know, like someone who's like a bit like, you know, really masculine. And so I work with a guy like that. And, you know, the fact that we've overcome like awkwardness and overcome like me being emotional in front of him and being really, you know, open about things, and he just kind of accepts it and he's used to it now. So I think it's really important who you work with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, there's so many things you want to sing about, but if you're not with the right person, you can't open up and you can't get those things out there. So that was really important, because then basically in the studio, I'll have a few drinks, I'm really comfortable, I'll write these songs, I'll write these lyrics, and then whatever happens afterwards, I'll deal with that embarrassment then. You know, when someone says, oh, I love that song, and like plays it, and I'm like, no, don't play it, you know.
It's weird sometimes, even though it's yours, you're like, not ready yet.
Yeah. And honestly, like people message me saying like, oh, you know, this song makes me cry, and this song is like very, you know, this is literally my situation. And I'm like, I'm so glad I could help, but please don't play it in front of me. I find it really hard to listen to my own music.
That's crazy.
I know.
But
you never watch music videos back either.
You don't watch the music videos back either?
Mm-mm.
Never.
I swear to God, I haven't watched all the way through.
Okay, we're going to have a homework list. We're going to come back. We have to do a whole show with just watching your videos. No, you would cringe, huh? It's too much.
Oh my God, that would be like torture. If they needed to get information out of me, if for some reason, like just make me watch my own videos, I'd be like, no.
Well, does something like this make you cringe too? It shouldn't, because Time Magazine said most emotionally frank album, newfound fearlessness of her pop. Talking about you, talking about this album. When you hear those words, where does that put you?
Well, I mean, I think they're right. No, I think you've got to like own it a bit, because it's so crazy. I mean, I've British singers are so self-deprecating, so hard on themselves. We really are, and so you have to own it a bit and be like, actually, you know what? I gave everything for this album. I worked hard on it. So I'm glad that it had the reception, and I'm glad that it's helping people through things. So things like that I'm okay with. Like if, when someone compliments me on the album, my God, I did like a meet and greet this morning, and it was the sweetest thing, and like such sweet fans. Like they only found out yesterday. They were talking to me over Zoom, and they were like just saying, they were reading out my lyrics and stuff, and I'm just, as sweet as it is, I'm just like it's killing me. But I don't know, like when people describe, it's always interesting to hear how other people describe the album.
Right. No, I think, I mean, if you're agreeing with that, that makes sense. And I think it's beautiful to have the, the evolution of oneself right there, physically in hand, so you can listen to it. Well, you won't, but others can listen. We'll never know anymore, but and knowing that you had the meet and greet, obviously these are different times. This is strange right now for all of us. You can't see the fans in person, but you're doing a one-time exclusive performance for everyone in the comfort of their own homes coming up. How iconic, how magical. What will we see? Give us a little hint. I know you can't spoil it, but
it'll be iconic. It'll be magical. It will be really special, because I don't know when I'm going to be on tour, other than we've booked a UK tour to start with, to see if that will happen. We don't even know if that's going to go ahead. Hopefully it will, but this could be the only time that people get to see me perform these songs live. So gotta be there.
Do we have any guests that might join you on stage, or any surprise?
Guess, I mean, but it will, unfortunately, they're not going to be able to be there, because it's literally against like the rules of the actual museum. There's only so many people allowed in the museum to film and to be in the band, and it's so crazy. But there will be some like nice little surprises there.
She's not telling us, folks, but we will tune in. August 26th is when this is happening. We'll be live streamed. You'll be at Victoria and Albert Museum, right?
Yes, and it is like, if you haven't been there, it is so beautiful, and it like so many old beautiful relics, and it's so romantic, and it's not a patch on the Louvre, but it's like London's version of the Louvre.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You've been busy, besides obviously making this new body of work. First of all, the first year anniversary is coming up for your marriage, your wedding anniversary, August 1st.
August 31st, yeah.
Can you believe it?
No, it's crazy. I can't believe how quickly it's gone. But obviously the past few months have gone so quick, and we've kind of fast forwarded a bit, because he's been studying, and we've been together for the past few months, living in the same place. I think I was talking about this earlier, actually, like it's been a real make or break for some people. Some people have realized it's the right fit, and if they can survive through this, can survive anything. And then some people are like, actually, you know what, this made me realize like what my priorities are, what I want to do in life, what my really what your ambitions are and your priorities and all that stuff. So it's been funny. I've definitely had a few friends break up with people during this time.
Yeah, it's definitely hard on just you as a person, and then you have another person that you're sharing a life with, and then have to go through this. None of us have at this age have been through that yet, or seen it.
I don't think any of us were really prepared for this time. But I'm glad that people are now kind of a bit more used to it and can find positive things to do in that time. But it definitely has been a challenge for everyone. Definitely in the UK. I don't know what it's like there where you are, but it's been very odd.
It's very, very strange. But hey, we're here.
Yeah, we're here. We're healthy.
We're alive. Yes, we're here. We're alive. We're healthy. I want to dig into this wedding gown situation because I was looking at all the art. Like I said, I read Cosmo as looking at the fact that you guys do appreciate living separate, sometimes having that break, because the independence, you still need that as a person. Which I think, I'm not in a relationship right now, but I think that's a smart move.
It is. I love being by myself. I love my own space. I love my own time. I get to it's just a revelation. Like I get to do what I want. I wish I'd had this much comfort in solitude through my 20s, to be honest. I really wish that I discovered it then, because I would have not wanted to come home from tour all the time to see someone. I would have spent less time trying to pursue people. I would have spent more time just working on myself and reading and just being alone, but now it's a good time also to do that, because we're comfortable with each other, we're comfortable with being apart, and it's not like we're not going to come back together at some point. So it's good, and I've enjoyed the time I've had alone over the past few months. And yeah, you're right. It's really healthy. Being joined at the whole time, I personally, I feel like that's not a healthy place to be in.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's you have to have that independence every so often to make sure you still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your wedding gown again. I just hate to be jumping all over the place, but the wedding gown, so beautiful. Chloe.
Yeah.
Why was that the decision? Did you know that's the designer you wanted to wear? And just how did you feel in the dress?
Well, to be honest, I've had an interesting relationship with fashion, because I love fashion from afar. I love going to the shows. I love especially British designers. I've always been a huge fan of, Stella McCartney, Alexander McQueen, and Vivienne Westwood. And so I've always I've always been sort of a fan of things from afar. I've never been someone who is overtly a fashion person. I dress for practicality most of the time, which is so lame, but I hate being uncomfortable. I hate wearing corsets. I hate wearing anything that's restrictive. I have to be always ready to do something. So when I perform, I wear stuff that I can run around in. But I do love slipping on a beautiful gown, and I've worn some incredible dresses in my time. But with the wedding dress, Chloe had just always been so supportive of me, and I was so grateful for that. And they'd always say I was a Chloe girl, and Natasha, she's so cool, the director right now. She's the coolest woman in the world. I love her so much. And so she just said, I'd love to make it. And I was like, hell yeah. So yeah, it took 1,000 days or something to make all the embroidery, literally 1,000 days. So I've given it to them to archive it now, so they can display it. And yeah.
Sweet.
But it has the Yorkshire rose in the embroidery, and the Hereford rose where I'm from, and then it has C and E in the veil, which is very sweet.
No, it's so beautiful. Someone that you had, and I always talk to her on American Idol, Katy Perry. She was at your wedding. Sweetest woman ever. Are you so happy for her and this little bun in the oven that we're about to see in the world? So cute.
I'm so happy for her. I have to say, there's no one that deserves it more than her. She deserves happiness. She's just she's just so consistent with the music. Every time she comes out a song, it's I feel like it's she always pushes pop music, which I really appreciate when female artists do that. And she's just kept bringing out great songs, and not just that, but she's an amazing personality. She's super smart. She's got this wicked English sense of humor, which it just gets me every time. She always catches me out. She's so good at it. And she's also been a great support to me. I've had a couple of times where I've reached out to her about things that have, I need some advice on. I need some big sister advice on, and so she will help me.